What's going on, guys? I'm Bill and welcome to Bill's How To. Today we're going to be testing out some tile paint to see just how durable it actually is. Let's get straight into it, guys. Let's do this. So today we're going to be testing something out that nobody has done out there before. There's no videos online, a lot of conflicting information regarding tile paint and in particular how durable it actually is. The product we're using is from Dulux. It's called the Renovations range. If you've watched my recent videos, I showed you guys how to paint a laminated benchtop and how to paint some floor tiles with a perfect finish. However, how durable is this product? I've honestly got no idea. No one seems to know, so hopefully by the end of this video, we're going to test it out and get some answers. We're also going to be testing out two other things. Number one is preparation. The manufacturer recommends that a glossy or shiny surface needs to be sanded down using 400 grit sandpaper down to a dull finish before you apply your primer or your top coats. So the tile we're using is this super shiny glossy surface right here. It's very, very slippery, so it's going to be perfect to test out how much difference sanding makes, because I know a lot of people are going to struggle with sanding large areas. You're going to miss sections, you're going to struggle to get into those corners. So we're going to be testing that out here today as well. The lucky last thing we're going to be testing is with regards to the clear coat. Now the clear coat is recommended once again from the manufacturer because it adds added protection. However, the biggest issue with the clear coat is simply applying it. Getting a really nice, consistent, perfect finish is very, very difficult. If you read the reviews online, a lot of people ruin their projects when it comes time for the clear coat, and then you have to start all over again. So we're going to be testing out the clear coat to see just how much added protection it adds, if any, so that you guys can make an informed decision. Now let's get straight into it, guys. I'll bring you in a bit closer and I'll show you what I've created here. So I've got the tile split into 4 different sections. The first two have no clear coat. The second two have a clear coat applied. The first two, if we have a look here, this one here has not been sanded. This one here has been sanded. So prior to applying our primer, no sanding, and these two here have no clear coat. Have a look here. No sanding, and these two have a clear coat on there. So I'm going to quickly show you guys how we apply the product. I'll speed up the footage really quick, just in case somebody's curious out there. But with regards to application, you simply sand it first, wipe it all down, apply your primer, wait 4 hours, apply your top coat, which is your colored finish, wait 8 hours, apply your second coat, wait 8 hours, apply your clear coat, wait 8 hours, and then repeat the process if you need to on your clear coat. So I'm going to quickly speed up the footage and then I'll see you guys in a bit. So I'm going to test how durable this tile paint is using a few different methods. First and foremost is the fingernail test. We're going to test it out and see just how well it holds up. Will it actually peel off the paint? We're going to try a soft bristle nylon brush. So that one there is a plastic brush. We've got some stiff bristle once again on a nylon brush or a plastic brush. We've got a cleaning sponge with a little bit of abrasive side right there. So if you ever wanted to clean your tiles, do you risk damaging them? We're also going to test it out with some steel wool or a scourer pad right here. Test it out once again. If you're cleaning it, is it going to damage the area? And we're also going to test it out using a rock. The reason why I'm using a little rock here is because this tends to get stuck in people's shoes. If you walk on a tiled surface, is it going to scratch it up really easily? And we're going to test it out right now. So we'll start off on this section here. This one here has no sanding and no clear coat. We'll start off with the fingernail test. My nails are generally pretty strong. All right, it's got little scuff marks on top. We'll see if that'll polish out in a second. This section here has been sanded with no clear coat once again. Pretty much the exact same finish. No sanding and a clear coat. So let's see if this clear coat makes a difference now. Pretty much exactly the same. Sanded and clear coat. All right, so at least we now know that the paint can't be peeled off simply by using your nail. We'll see if we can clean this section here off, and it actually does come up. So that actually comes up almost like brand new once again. We'll use a bit of water towards the end and see what comes off and what doesn't. Next thing on our list, soft bristle nylon brush. So we'll start off here. Hopefully I don't have to keep repeating what it is. No sanding, no clear coat. My nails actually did a lot more damage than what this brush is doing. Sanded, no clear coat. I'm actually damaging the bristles. No sanding, clear coat. I can actually feel it sliding a bit easier over the clear coated area. Do the same thing here. This one here is sanded with a clear coat. Alright, it's got little scuff marks on the surface, but nowhere near what I was expecting. My nails actually did a lot more damage. Hopefully you guys can see. I might bring you in a bit closer in a second. Let's try our stiff bristle right here. So once again, nylon brush, stiff bristle. Not doing anything. Not doing anything. Alright, so far so good. So this is actually very promising. Very promising. It's got minor little blemishes on top when you look at it on a few different angles, depending on the way the light is catching it. But I'm pretty sure that's all going to buff out as well. So we'll move on to our next one now. We've got our little scourer pad here, or our cleaning sponge. Might actually try this wet in a second as well, but I want to first try it dry. So that's actually a lot more abrasive than pretty much all the other ones, even my nails. So that one there is a lot more abrasive. That one there was no sanding and no clear coat. Pretty much exactly the same, sanded, no clear coat. This one here has no sanding and a clear coat. So let's see if that clear coat is going to have added protection. It might actually show up the most when we try and clean this up. Having the clear coat may allow you to polish it up a bit better, but it also damages it more. So you can see that clear coat actually shows up a lot more damage as it picks up that light. Once again, sanded and our clear coat. Alrighty, so we're starting to see some effect now. We know that this section here, we've got a little bit of paint transfer there. Nothing too major, but you can definitely see a little bit of paint transfer on that corner. Let's try our little bit of steel wool or our scouring pad. I can see it's actually stripped back some of that paint. Oh, and I can actually see some of the white now. All right, so this one here had no sanding and no clear coat. It's still pretty durable because I'm scratching it pretty deep. It's brought off a fair bit of that paint. So that one there is no sanding and no clear coat. Let's try a different area. This one here has been sanded. Let's see if it holds up a bit better. That actually holds up much better. There's no white that's starting to come through. This one here, no sanding and clear coat. And we're starting to get some white come through, which you'd expect with this. This is very abrasive. Alrighty, so if we have a look at all of them, no sanding has actually both brought through a bit of white, which means it's from the base of the surface, it's the tile itself. This one here and this one here, both of them that have been sanded. There's no white as yet. I'm sure if I keep scraping or scrubbing, it will eventually go down to the base coat or down to the tile itself. But so far, sanding does help. Just not that much that I was expecting. So if you do happen to miss a bit on your sanding, I guess it's not the end of the world, especially in the corner. You won't be getting something like this deep into that corner. Let's try one of these little rocks here. All right, so no sanding, no clear coat, straight across. And you can see as soon as I put that down, it just took a big chunk out of it. I might have to hold this properly. All right, so it goes straight down to the white. Let's try here, sanded, no clear coat. Exactly the same finish. It seems to be as soon as I put that rock down, initially it pulls out that paint straight away, and then the paint sits on the bottom of the rock, which means it only gives it light scratches. So let's see, no sanding, clear coat. Clear coat going to make a difference. Well, I did a little bit towards the end, but not that much. Sanded, clear coat. Oh, so far that's the best. So sanded and clear coat. Let's do another couple of lines. Still so far the best. That's actually the best so far. So from what I gather so far, sanded and clear coat is going to give you the best results, which is what the manufacturer recommends. But I mean, how often you have a rock stuck in your shoe? That's actually much better than these ones here. Very, very interesting. You can see that it initially takes off the white straight away, or takes off the paint straight away. This section here doesn't seem to do it. So it does provide a bit of added protection. Hopefully you guys can see there all that damage now as I get the light to reflect on it. Let's see if I get a bit of water on this rag here and try buff it out. We'll see if we can get rid of some of this damage here. Alright, so just a little bit of water. I'm going to quickly clean this whole area here off, dry it, and see if we have buffed out most of that damage. So once the area has been cleaned with water and dried, this here is the finished product. Now I think it's pretty safe to say that across all 4 different application methods, with a clear coat, without a clear coat, with sanding and without sanding, the durability is pretty much the same across the board, apart from this little exception we've got right here, which was the sanded and clear coat, which is exactly what the manufacturer recommends. But across the board, I don't think there was too much of a difference. If I was to miss a few little areas with the sanding in tight corners, I wouldn't be too concerned. With regards to the clear coat, if you're not too confident in your paintwork, I wouldn't apply the clear coat just to be safe. But in terms of abrasive material, definitely a big no-no. Don't use anything abrasive on a painted surface. The only way to fix this now would be to reapply a new coat of paint. The upside is you don't need to apply a primer, just simply apply the paint straight over the top. Even if you wanted to change the color and it only lasts a year or two, it's still a cheap option compared to replacing your complete tiles. Nice, cheap, easy way. In terms of adhesion, it actually holds up very, very well. I was surprised, especially on this really glossy, shiny tile, and no sanding at all. It's held up exactly the same compared to the other 3 areas. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video and you've learned something new. As always, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Bill. Thanks for watching Billshowto.